LATD Nation, we back in here with another one for y'all. This is your man Jay. How y'all doing? As always.
This is RG from the 843, aka Rodney, back as always.
Yes, sir. We here with another album review. Yes, sir. We got Denzel Curry's
King of the Mischievous South Volume 2.
Yes,
which
sir.
a lot of people probably don't realize. You know, if you're new to Denzel, this is, you know, as its title suggests, the sequel to his 2012 mixtape, you know, that many fans regard to be one of the best in his catalog.
Oh, most definitely. I actually never heard the first one, but real quick,
Me neither.
Let me sidetrack real quick. You notice something different about it here?
Shoot, I have no idea. You tell me.
Shoot, I mean, oh snap! We got these new displays.
Yes, sir.
Shout out display.com. So we figured we kind of liven up the joint, so y'all don't got to be staring at no
no
white wall.
Yeah,
exactly.
Stare at long enough, you go blind. You know,
exactly.
Yeah, you got Johnny Silverhand. Cyberpunk fans will recognize him, of course.
Yes.
You know, Wake Up Samurai. You got him. you got of course Brooks Stadium. You know, Chance Up. You know, I went to Coastal Carolina. Class of 2023 represent.
Yes, sir.
The Wire, you can talk about that.
Yeah, y'all already know I love The Wire. This is the season 3 poster with Jimmy McNulty at the front. You can see Buddy Colvin on the side, or maybe you can. It's kind of far away. You got, you know, what's his name? Mayor Carcetti, and then Clay Davis and all of them. If y'all watch The Wire, then you know. Anyway, but then we got the training day poster on the side right here.
One of, I think, both of our favorite movies of all time.
Oh, most definitely so.
One of my favorite movie villains of all time, Alonzo Harris.
Most definitely.
You playing basketball in Pelican Bay. Can't say what I really want to say, but if you've seen the movie, you already know what he says.
King Kong and get on me. There we go. All right, cool. So anyway, back to King of the Mischievous South 2, Volume 2.
Yes, sir.
What'd you think?
So a little background, actually. You know, for me personally, I wasn't a Denzel Curry fan like that growing up or anything like that. I didn't really listen. Like, I had always heard the name, you know. I had always known that he was making his lane, kind of was more of an underground sort of artist. Was never really mainstream like that. I never paid attention to Denzel until I was put on, you know, I think it was a coworker or whatever at Comeback Shack that put me on and said, oh, you need to listen, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. And then I was like, let me go ahead and give this album a try, because 2022 was getting a lot of praise. A lot of people regarded it as better than even Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, which that's debatable. But what I'll say is that, you know, I listened to that and I became a Denzel fan just off of that project. You know, it made me go back and listen to some of his other music. Very, very talented. Melt My Eyes had probably at least 2 of my favorite songs of the year. Well, really probably 3. X-Wing, Walking, and I probably would throw in Ain't No Way.
Okay, cool.
Featuring Jid, you know.
Yes, sir.
But funny enough, as we were discussing earlier, Denzel had mentioned that he would want to do a collab with the Jid, like a project, which, hey, fingers crossed for that, because shoot, the way these rappers move, they can't even release their own single projects.
Right.
So,
but thing about
jury's out on that.
Exactly. But good thing about Denzel is I think he's independent. So
I don't even think it's an independent issue necessarily, or whether you're signed to a label. I think it's just more of them being able to actually sit down and do it. I think that, you know, once rappers, they get to a certain point, you know, they have their own business ventures, they have their own things going on.
Right.
So it's harder for them to really lock in, like, you know, get time in the same studio in the same city to sit down and really make music before, you know, one has to do something else and then, I got to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, like shows and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. But hopefully it happens. I mean, I'm a big Denzel Curry fan myself. I became a fan listening to Taboo. Like, at first, I kind of saw the imagery, and I'm like, man, I ain't listening to this. This is weird. This
Cloud Cobain.
And then until I listened to Cloud Cobain. I'm like, this dude is weird. I'm not listening to this guy, this, that, and the third. And then I saw, like, a video. I forgot the YouTuber's and the TikToker's name. But he's like, he was ranking, like, what happened to the 2016 freshman XXL freshman.
Yeah,
so I'm
like
thinking,
that lineup with 21, Yachty, Denzel, Kodak.
right, and then he got the Denzel, so he's like talking about he dropped a classic.
Oh, and Uzi,
yeah,
too.
and Uzi too, yeah. And,
legendary video.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Watched it the other day again.
So yeah, so he comes across Denzel's part, says that he drops good, solid albums. So I'm like, you know what? I'll give him a try. I listened to Taboo. Okay, like this
Great
is
project.
great. This is I'm like, okay, this is fire. And then I listened.
JPEG Mafia is on there, which one of these days we might have to talk about him. That's another underground artist that's kind of been making waves for the last probably 5-6 years, I would say.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about him one time, multiple times, but you know what I'm saying.
At some point, we'll get to him.
But yeah, so I'm like, okay, and I listened to Cloud Cobain, and at the time I was still working at certain spots. You know what I'm saying?
If you know,
if you know, you know, man. But it's like, I'm like, okay, Cloud Cobain sounds good. Black Balloons is fire too. Then I listened to Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. And that's easily my favorite album from Denzel Curry. Because technically, Taboo and Melt My Eyes were the only two that I listened to at the time.
Yeah.
But Melt My Eyes, See Your Future really resonated with me. And it was like a really, really, really solid album from front to back. No skips for me.
Not really.
My favorite song on there is Troubles featuring T-Pain. If y'all already know, y'all see the 50 subscriber special. Boom. Go watch it or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And y'all know that T-Pain is my favorite artist. And then I listened to Walkin', Ain't No Way, Worst Comes to Worst, X-Wing. I'm just
John Wayne.
John Wayne, yep. Even Sanjuro was a good one too. Like, it's an underrated track on that album, but that's how I really became a Denzel Curry fan. And then, because really, that, like I said, that album just resonated with me when I was working at Mercedes at the time. All you could see me doing is doing my work and bumping it at the same time and just, sanding off vans and everything, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But it was a great year for music for me.
It
back in 22.
It definitely was. It definitely was. The projects that came out that year, and there were a lot that I had listened to. Babies, It's Only Me, which that was mid, and I say that as a huge Baby fan. Steppers came out that year. Mr. Morale, my favorite album of that year, of course. I would probably say Melt My Eyes. It would be Forever Story second, and then it would be Melt My Eyes be third. 2022.
I'd say my favorite album was Melt My Eyes, My Forever Story, then Mr. Morale. Mainly because Mr. Morale, for me, well, we can review this at a later time.
For sure.
But
we'll get to it.
Keep on pace. But it just wasn't what I expected.
Yeah, no, I got you. It wasn't what a lot of people expected, to be fair. It kind of did some things outside of what people were expecting from a Kendrick album that was 5 years in the making. But right. I mean, for what it was for me, I loved. But we'll talk about that some other time.
Yes, sir. But now we got Denzel Curry's latest album, like we said, King of the Mischievous.
Well, technically, it's being billed. I hear people call it an album. Technically, it's being billed as a mixtape.
Oh, well.
Because technically, with the album, kind of has more of it's a body of work that has an overarching theme.
Yeah,
and it's kind of more of a collection of songs that all fit a certain narrative or objective. But with King of the Mischievous South Volume 2, it's just more of a collection of songs kind of thrown together, not really saying anything, not really there's no narrative or greater purpose. It's just a mixtape to just vibe to.
Yeah,
and with that being said, it does a really good job of that. There's a lot of really, really good songs on here that I'll definitely have on repeat. Hot One and definitely Black Flag Freestyle, the two standouts for me though.
Yep. Same here. G's Up was another one of my favorite ones. In the first track, not the intro, but I guess on the I can't remember it off the top of my head.
I can't either, but it's towards the beginning.
Right, you're right, yeah. No, the first track was a good one for me as well.
Definitely.
The one that he did with Ski Mask is another good one.
Yeah.
Ski Mask, the Slump God. Matter of fact, and it's real. That's kind of all it is though. It's not even a bad mixtape at all.
The thing with it is that if you were expecting, as a Denzel fan, if you were expecting something like more of like a theme, like a narrative, like a Melt My Eyes, you may be disappointed just because it's not in that vein and it's not trying to be. But the thing about it though is that for me, Denzel has proven himself to be a very, very versatile artist in the sense that he always seems to be able to just whatever he tries to do, whatever he tackles, he seems to be able to succeed with flying colors. And this is no different. I would say that this mixtape is of quality for what it's trying to accomplish because it's really trying to pay homage to like, because you hear the Southern influence in it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like a Memphis sort of like 3-6 Mafia era sound.
Like I hear a lot of Florida in it too.
Yo, yes, a lot of Florida.
Because he's from Florida.
Exactly.
Ultra, yeah. That's one of my favorite songs.
For sure. But yeah, it's like, it's clear that he was trying to just pay homage to like Southern influences that he probably grew up on. Like I said, 3-6 Mafia, that Florida sort of vibe.
Right.
And I think that he succeeds very well. It's very like atmospheric and cloudy, hazy, and it's just like the beats. They're just real like a lot of bass.
Right, and a lot really in your face and just.
This is a mixtape for the car for sure. This is something definitely. Like the blast in the car for real, which of course I've been doing. I took a trip to Sumter the other day. Boy, that thing was on repeat.
Yeah, no, I agree. Shoot, while I was out shopping for more decorations for the studio and everything, I had this on repeat too.
Yes,
like
sir. Yes,
hot,
sir.
Like you said, Hot One, Ultra stuff. Lunatic Interlude. Well,
Sked was good too.
Sked, I love Sked. Like, Sked, he dropped that album. He dropped that single last year. Or like kind of early or late last year, with Kenny Mason. Then he dropped another one too. Hit the Floor, Ski Mask Slump God. That's the name of the song.
Yeah, I like that one.
That one really, because I love Ski Mask Slump God as well.
Another Florida connect.
A lot of y'all just love Florida, man. Y'all already know. So I just love Florida, but it's like just this whole album as a whole, like you said, it's just a big homage to the South. And everything. Not a lot. I don't hear a lot of Atlanta in it though.
Not really. No, I don't think he was going for that Atlanta. That trap sort of, not that modern Atlanta sound,
right?
Or even that Outkast sound, like that old Outkast. Yeah,
I don't hear that here.
Yeah, I don't really hear much of it out there, and I think that was by design. It was that real sort of like Southern, like that Florida sort of like car parts scattered on the lawn type of feel, like that real dirty, grimy, just gritty, just down in the mud South. And he really did a good job of exit. Like it feels not unfinished, but it's like it's rough in production by design.
Exactly, because and as you mentioned earlier about people who love Melt My Eyes and his other
completely different production style.
Exactly, and his other like really like introspective albums like Taboo and everything.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of one of them people that was kind of disappointed by that. But once I looked it up more, and it said Volume 2, so I'm like Volume 1. Okay, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah. That's why I'm not as mad about it anymore. Well, not mad, but not as like disappointed about it anymore. It's not supposed to be introspective. It's supposed to be that grimy, like you said.
You understand what it's supposed to be now at this point.
Exactly.
You see what he was going for, what his vision was,
right?
Which I think he nailed.
Yeah, 100%.
There's not a whole lot for me to complain about. It's very concise, and it's not long either. It doesn't stay as welcome at all.
It's only like 15
it doesn't overstay as welcome.
Yeah, it's only like 15 tracks.
It's only like 34 minutes, so like you can get through it like easy. Like I listened to the whole thing on the way to work the other day almost. Just about. I think I had like maybe 2 or 3 songs left.
Right, yeah.
It's a very like accessible project because it isn't heavy on themes like Melt My Eyes, which in my opinion Melt My Eyes wasn't that heavy to where it like felt like you really had to buckle in to listen to it.
Right.
It had a lot of vibes to it. But it did kind of have a more narrative-based structure than definitely. This did.
Melt My Eyes was very much giving you like life lessons behind it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Behind each and every song, like especially with like troubles, saying like you got troubles that these drugs can't fix. We must struggle because life's and everything.
Yeah.
Keep on walking, ain't no stopping in this dirty, filthy, rotten, nasty little world we call a home, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very much narrative driven, but this one is just really more like you said for the car. Yeah. It was this one was just
it's just
fun.
vibe music, which I'm not mad at.
Yeah,
I'm never mad when an artist just give me something you just kind of vibe to. Something to work out to.
Exactly.
This is definitely going to be put to use in the gym.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I was about to say you could go to work to this song like
fast and get your hype. Like you wake up, shoot, you don't feel like going to that job. You're like, man,
popping scared.
Just let me go ahead and just put on King of Mischievous South Volume 2, man. If that don't turn you up and get you ready to face the day, and in that way, I can almost say that it kind of serves the same purpose as Melt My Eyes in the sense that, it kind of gets you, it kind of motivates you.
Exactly.
In a different way, though. This is just to get hype. Melt My Eyes was more of that sort of like, sit down, you marinate with it, kind of learn some stuff from it. Because the thing about Melt My Eyes is that it was an album that was reflective of an artist that had been at that point about a decade in his career,
right,
who's kind of grown up in the spotlight, and he's grown and matured and changed, and this is the result of it.
Right, especially with his certain calamities that happen in his life.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like, it's in big ups to you, Denzel. If you ever see this video, man, shout out to you.
Would love to do an interview one of these days.
Most def, come to South Carolina, bro. You feel me? But yeah, like another kind of like a negative, quote unquote, with this album that I would say is, I wish Denzel
had a solo song or two.
Yeah, really more at like the forefront, because a lot of the features, really all of the features, and I feel like that's by design, just kind of like, take over.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways on this, because his verses, like, he can spit, but in these verses sure, he has like a very like let me ease back, let me not show anybody up. This is like for my guests. Yeah, for the guest type beats and type verses.
He very much is playing the role of a curator on this project, in the sense that he's taking his features and he's getting the best out of them, and he's kind of just sort of playing his part along with him. He's not really like competitive rapping or anything. Right. It's more of just sort of, he's just
taking the back seat.
Yeah, he's kind of chilling on this one, which ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right. Yeah. I won't say that's necessarily a negative. That's just kind of a nitpick for me.
Yeah. I do agree. I would have liked to have seen him kind of more on his own with this one. But at the same time, I don't know what that really would have been lyrically, in the sense that if this mixtape was more meant to kind of just be a vibe, sort of like in the whip sort of project, then a singular song, like if it's supposed to be, just him kind of like reflecting on his life, it would have been kind of like, it would have been welcome. Like, I'm not saying I would have hated it, but it would have been kind of out of place for what he was trying to do.
I feel that. A lot of it
would have been welcome though.
Right, I agree.
And I feel like that's probably going to be saved for the album. The next album, I wouldn't be surprised.
Bro, I can't wait till the next album.
Whenever that's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. Because it took, 2 years?
Yeah, this was a little over 2 years.
Okay, cool. So, but with that being said, like, what overall, still a great album. Or mixtape. I give it a solid 8 out of 8. That's all, folks. You know what I'm saying? 8 out of 10.
So you sound like you were rapping just now.
Yeah.
Like 2016, 17 era, like Future.
Or, like Sexy Red. Yeah.
But anyway. Anyways, though, I give it probably a 7 point. Not even a 7 point. Matter of fact, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 myself. For what it's trying to be and what it does, it accomplishes it well. I thoroughly have enjoyed this project. It hasn't been, it hasn't gotten old to me yet. I've already listened to it like 3 times over. Right. I enjoy it.
Right.
And it did what it needed to do. I'm not mad at it. And
it knows what it, and on top of that, another big plus about it just knows what it is.
Exactly. He's self-aware on this project. Right. He's very self-aware. He understood the assignment on this project.
Versus like the Death of Eminem, still a great album, but Death of
Eminem M was just so self-serious on some of the songs. Like, even when you could tell it was like he was trying to be funny, it still came across kind of like he was trying too hard. Like he was just trying to be angry. Right.
Like,
when's the last time you smiled?
Right. But overall, still a great album, man. Please don't come for us. Please.
Yeah, don't diss us. We small channel, but
yeah. So, I mean,
I don't want no smoke, Am.
No, me neither. But like we said, it's just it just knew what it was. It was cohesive, solid 8 out of 10 for me. But yeah,
my favorite aspect of it, what I would say, was the production.
Same.
And just the vibe, because I really like southern type of music like that. That southern rap for sure.
I 100% agree. We got more videos coming for y'all. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
What we got coming up next?
I mean, tell you the truth, it depends on what we feel like recording and releasing.
Exactly.
We got another video that's been unreleased for the longest.
Yeah.
That's in the vault. We got one in the tuck, y'all. You can guess what that is. But yeah, definitely more reviews. More just everything that you've come to expect from the channel.
Yep.
Just stay tuned. We got y'all.
Yes,
and
sir.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's
Long live Denzel, right?
Long live Denzel.
Yes, sir.
So yeah,
just keep dropping bangers,
please. And that collab album with JID, you said it yourself. Come on, dog.
Yeah, you said it, so we ain't gonna let it go.
We both fans of you. Please
give us something.
Hip hop is at its peak right now. But anyway, with that being said, I've been Jay,
and this has been Rodney.
We are LATD, man. Y'all boy, look at the detail. Peace.